So this video is for anyone who is downloading Photoshop on a school MacBook. So if you have a MacBook that you've checked out from the school, this is how you will download Photoshop. So the first thing you have to do to download Photoshop is download something called Creative Cloud, and that will allow you to download any Adobe products, and for that we're going to be using it to download Photoshop. So the first step is to download Creative Cloud and then use Creative Cloud to download Photoshop. So in order to do that on a school MacBook, we have to go to something called SelfService. So in order to get to that, we have to go to Finder, the little icon down on the bottom dock that looks like a face. And then we want to go to Applications on the left side here. And that will show you every program that's already on your computer. So you can always check and see if Creative Cloud or Photoshop is already on your computer. Sometimes that's the case if someone used the computer previously and had that downloaded on it. In my case, it already has that on there, but if yours isn't showing up on here, you want to go down and find SelfService. So it's this one here. Sometimes your icons might look like this. So you just want to scroll through that and find SelfService. Sometimes it looks like this one or this one. But we have SelfService here, and so I'm going to double click on that. And then you need to log in with your student number for your username and your password. That's the same for everything. Oops. So that'll just be your student number like in your email, but without the rest of the @apps.nsd.org, just the student number. And that should log you into SelfService. It should default to showing you the featured things on here. So it probably has Zoom and a couple other things on it, but it should also have Creative Cloud. So there should be one that has a little box logo here, and it should say Adobe Creative Cloud. If that doesn't show up in your featured, you can scroll down and see if there is an Adobe tab that shows up on yours. It should be there as well. If it's not showing up anywhere, you can try searching for Adobe and see if it comes up that way. But however you find it on SelfService here, you just want to click install. If it says reinstall, that means it's already on your computer, so you don't need to install it. In my case, it says reinstall, but you'll just click the install button on there. It will load and download Creative Cloud. So that will take a little while, but once you have Creative Cloud downloaded, you can go back to the applications in Finder. And up near the top, it should have Adobe Creative Cloud with this little red folder here. And then there is the rainbow colored one. You want to double click on that one. And that will open Creative Cloud, and you just need to log in on there. It might open a browser window. Sometimes it logs you in just on Creative Cloud itself. Mine likes to automatically sign me in since I've signed into it before, but yours will ask you for your email address. So it will ask you in the login. Oh, I keep skipping it. But you may have seen there for just a moment, it asked for a login and it asked for your email address. It has a part down at the bottom that'll say an Apple sign-in or a Google sign-in or a Facebook sign-in, and you don't want to worry about any of those. I know we all have Google accounts, but it's not connected to that. So you just want to put in at the top part, put in your email address, so just your student number at apps.nsd.org. Push next, and then put in your password for that you have for everything else, including your email. And that should log you into Creative Cloud, which will look something like this. So At that point, you won't have anything that says it's installed here. You'll just need to scroll down in the All Apps section here and find Photoshop. So they'll look just like these, except it will have the Photoshop logo like this one here, and you just click Install on it. It might show you two versions of Photoshop. A lot of the MacBooks that we are using are a little bit too old for the most recent version of Photoshop. So one might say not compatible and one will say install, and you just want to click the one that says install on the section that says Photoshop with this little logo here. And then once that downloads, it'll take a little while to download, especially if you're using your computer or any other device on your internet. It might take a little while to download, but eventually you will have Photoshop on your computer, and it will show up in your applications in Finder, right up near Creative Cloud. There will be one that says Adobe Photoshop. So in the folder that says Adobe Photoshop 2020, there will be the actual program right here, and if you double click on that, it will open Photoshop. So this is how you download Photoshop on a school MacBook. If you're using your own personal computer or a Chromebook, follow the instructions for those devices for downloading Photoshop. This one is just for downloading it on a school MacBook.